Ese sonido es tan mítico del Skyrim que la verdad es que me están entrando un poco de ganas, un poquito de ganas. Bueno, vamos al lío. A ver, lo primero vamos a venir por aquí. Espera, no tengo bien. Sí. No quiero caer. Un momento, hay algo.
On your best behavior, I trust.
What
business is? A lot of people have been looking for her, but it's been 3 weeks. Scintilla was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit, if anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Sentia Malleolus. You might fare better, though, I suppose. Fine. All right.
No creo que sí. No me pega que fuera él.
Oh, don't mind me. Oh, I wish her. Oh, you. Her. Oh no, that's Scintilla's. The question is, what was it doing in the cistern? A skeleton? Oh gods, you mean she's... What do you mean? But didn't Domitius say there's some kind of creature down there that killed and ate Hannibal? What are you saying? That somebody crept down there and put Scintilla's amulet? Why would anyone... But who? Who could have a reason to do...
Uf, no lo sé.
That is an extremely serious... So this is just base... I've heard enough. I won't kindly keep your insane
Vale. Voy a hablar con tu papá.
We're finally alone. We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, I must have entrusted you with figuring out who... Is that about right? Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now, I assume you sought... Sextus Sentius Imperios. Before I wound up here, I was a decurion. It's a cavalry officer. As magistrate, I usually wear a toga, but today... My men and I were at the Emporium in Rome. Now the port is usually bustling, but just they were trying to escape a terrible fight. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on a... I went looking for my horse, and I was elected 7 months ago, uncontested because of my command experience. They're supposed to be annual, but I agreed to hold it. Unfortunately, it just seems to... Very well. If I did, I'd have... I've had plenty of time to... I've always considered my guiding star to be... Our survival and prosperity have all... Give the gods what they want and we all prosper. The real enemy in this place is not the golden rule, but human fate. I trust that answers your question. You mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught multiple times. Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think it was not so long ago, during the Republic. The law of the 12 tables would have required that he be killed as soon... Here, we see to it that he has food, water, a privilege that would be taken away from all of us. The man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension. I will not jeopardize the lives of my people. You mean Duilia? Perhaps you... Thank you. Ah, you've... Of course. Well, if you stopped one person from breaking it and you're... Allow me to explain. When I discovered the ritual the crux of it is this. If you do anything to change the course of history in such a way that you're... To illustrate, when the golden rule is broken, if you manage to... The same thing would happen if either of those things were to happen, so the fact that you are still here mean... Excellent. It looks like you'll have to continue. Of course. Yeah. Why do you say... What? That's... I'm speechless. How do you know? Well then, you must stop him from winning the election. I can't be seen to be involved. You'd better not waste any time. Good. Thank... Ah, you... Of... Yes? Why do you say that? So I'm told. This is true. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, but... Ah, it looks like you'll have to Of course. Yeah. Why do you say... When you say he asked for help, you're not... Good. But still, he's been trying to... Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Ah, it looks like you'll have to Of course. Well, allow me to explain.
Joder, me equivoco.
I know what you mean. It looks like you'll have to... Of course. Yeah. Why do you say that?
Esta cabra te la tienes jurado.
You managed to extract all that from him. Well done. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Ah, it looks like you'll have to... Of...
Yo creo que dice de todos, pero...
Why do you say that?
Lo creo.
Well then, you'd better make sure she doesn't lose enough. It looks like you'll have... Of course. Yes? Why do you... You seem to be grasping at straws here. It looks like you'll have to Of course. Yes? Why do you say that? Then you'd better find a way to make him back down, hadn't you? Good.
Bueno, espera un momento, mira. Déjame decírtelo todo y te dejo en paz.
Why do you say that? Why? Because he prefers the company of... I simply cannot believe that his innate... It looks like you'll have...
Por supuesto,
of course.
Chico.
Yeah. Why do you... You suspect. I confess. It looks like you'll have to... Thank...
Vale. Bueno, nada. Obviamente hay muchos inocentes aquí.
If you're snooping around in my possessions, you're wasting your time.
Mira lo que tengo que hacer. Vale, a ver, vamos a mirar un poco estas. Vale. Sí, vamos a hablar con él. Tengo la llave, ¿no? Tengo la llave... Vale.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
You're trying to goad me into
The old man couldn't...
Thank you. Thank you. Deeply honored to have... Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You seem to have confused me with someone else. You mean my heterochromia? And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. I like to think it is simply the way the gods have chosen to mark a natural-born... Well, I am not suffering. Unlikely, because it simply isn't. I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be... I'm glad you asked. These good people... By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule. Children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie? The person making a claim bears the onus of proving that claim. Can you... Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. Surely, you're not one of those people who believes... What? Oh, I see what's happened. You mean that book next to a golden statue in the theater? Tell me, how do you... I disagree. I'll be guided by what is... True, but that is... I'm afraid not. You mean the children's fable Of course not. But as I always say... Look, if you're trying to find her, you may wish to check the cisterns beneath. Of course, just to be clear, I trust you...
Vamos a hablar con... Pero tengo que subir, qué pereza.
What? He's not... Dunno. The little Caput murder escaped earlier this morning. While I was taking you... Tell him the punishment he gets for coming back. Listen, I don't abduct women. You don't know Sturk. What?
Ay, Domicio, Domicio.
What now? Or...
Espera, me dijo que mirase la habitación.
Are they?
Ya la he mirado, ¿no? No la miré ya. No veo que haya nada.
Are they?
Thea is
Joder, bueno, voy a centrar en la sencilla. Sí, aquí cabía. Sacerdotisa. Bueno, venga, centrémonos. Era como
Harvey.
hace mucho que no hablamos.
A new face. Harvey. Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me. Yes, I suppose that could be some. What else? Yes, I understand. What else? That's true. It's as I feared. Let me ask you this. Did you have... And did you... I see. Because I've seen her before. There's something I think... But don't follow too closely. We can't...
Bueno, soy una mujer, tú eres una mujer, tampoco va a pasar nada, ¿no? Bueno. Supongo que habrá hecho lo que le dije que tenía que hacer. Sí. Espérame. Ay, qué pesados los vecinos, joder.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead.
Wow.
Charon, who in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross
Estamos
the
muertos.
Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best
Ay,
reactions
qué
when
pesados
I
los
introduce
vecinos, de verdad.
myself. My name's Karen.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry.
Estamos todos muertos.
I take it you know what this means.
Gracias.
I'm afraid so.
Wow.
It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can. That was my first thought too, in the old stories, but it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead, meeting a grim ferryman named... It was said that he'd help the new arrival. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved one. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin. To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described. And he, she, they... You say you saw a young woman, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram. And Rufius described meeting a stranger named... But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began... I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again. Good question. Let's see. In the story, but that never made any sense to me. What does... In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had, so... Maybe there's something special about the coins each of... No. I mean, I had my suspicions. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it. If we don't want... We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter, Orpheus, a Thracian poet, Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit. So it seems you have two options: to confront the god of the underworld. It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, and even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that. All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite... You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish.
Claro, todos los escritos que hay de no sé quién mató a no sé tal, fue gente a lo mejor también el gusto muere y no es capaz de, ¿no? de terminar el mensaje. Entonces todo lo que encontramos, o sea, lo que encontraron, está a medias escrito, porque la gente acaba muriendo. Pero bueno, conocen esas cosas por eso, claro. Bueno.
Is everyone so blunt where you're from? That option would be the boldest, but also the only way. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the... Are you telling me that... I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means. So, if you want... Who knows? Perhaps... But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you know... It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them. If you could recover and replace all four of those... It's the towering stone monument with four sides and a pyramid-shaped head. You'll find them all over Rome. But of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. However, this one is unusual in that each of the four sides is decorated in a different... That means you'll need to recover four different... Good question. To answer, it would have had the god's name engraved into it. So it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name, and there's only one group of... There's a cult in Rome that often argued they've been known to start fires, as well as... If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in... But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere. I don't know.
Bajo tierra.
But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, George.
Vale.
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern.
¿verdad?
Perhaps Kabash.
Desapareció ya, es que no está.
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, it's said, the god of the If the stories are true, then I suppose... The problem is, leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the
Sí.
Truly? Then again, I suppose you were... Can you tell me more? Fascinating. Perhaps she is a benevolent... If she has indeed been abducted, it... Tell me. That is strange. They're in... Right. Because the current flows into the city through the... I vaguely recall wondering what was in there. But the door... You might be able to get a key from the magistrate. But if that doesn't work, let me know if you find anything in there. All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this... In any case, time is of the... May Fortuna guide you.
Okay. Bueno, ahora quiero centrarme en Sentiria. Aunque quizás me pase por el mercado.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Salve, friend. Welcome to life. All right, well, it was lovely to meet you.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
A ver, Ulpio, por
Oh,
favor.
no. Ulpius, what are you doing?
That's the idea.
What?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the...
I know things are hard. Please just think this through.
I'm sorry, but...
Please, I'll help him. If he goes through with it, it could be... Thank...
You know about... Well, you don't understand. I don't want to hurt... It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact. If I backed out now, I'd be... No, I'm out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love, I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
Pero se cae al agua, no muere, ¿no? O se convierte en esqueleto. Ah,
I can't believe he went through with
se
it.
convierte en esqueleto.
Oh, Lord.
Entonces,
Poor lamb. I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I'd better...
vale, es decir, vamos a ver. Me voy a tirar para ir para abajo, ¿vale? Y... entonces, ese es el pobre señor, ¿no? Se convirtió en esqueleto. Vale, se convirtió en esqueleto. Livia, ¿dónde está? ¿Livia? No. Voy a ir a...
Fear is proof of a
Keeping an eye on
degenerate
things,
mind.
Horatius?
Primero quiero venir por aquí. Claro, a lo mejor tengo que esperar a que haya un pecado, ¿no? Para que se mueva esta estatua y poder entrar ahí, ¿no? Parece. Vale, voy a ver si me acuerdo antes de que se acabe el tema.
Ixion turns, just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all. But it... Say it. Then it is true. I thought I saw it, but when I had to tell myself it was true over and... I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I will do my best. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. And still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if... Friend, you...
Beautiful. Oh, you're here. I'm so glad. And, I hope I'm not being too forward, but there's a light. What was that? Some kind... I take back what I... Let's just forget that ever happened. Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him, he was sitting at a table with... I remember, because they kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone. The one word I kept hearing was... You know, Norm... I guess that went right over. As a matter of... I'm happy to tell you all about it. So... I'm in. And now for my end.
Vale.
This is hemlock. Drink this and your life will be over. Congratulations on your purchase. Sorry, a deal's a deal. There's a reason everyone else who bought my way out has kept it quiet. And it's that they didn't want... I offered to sell you a way out, and I should know. This isn't easy. And break the golden rule. Oh, I think it is.
Menuda ladrona. ¿Y si te robo tu dinero? Creo que le voy a robar su dinero.
You stay away from my money.
Ya, claro. Pues creo que le voy a robar, baja. Quiero una llave. Bueno, tenía dinero abajo, ahora que lo pienso. Aquí, ¿no?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
¿No? Ay, me van a matar. No puedo coger... Joder.
Oh, I think it is. Pleasure doing business with you.
Vale, o sea que no puedo... Vamos a volver a intentarlo.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
No sé qué había ahí. ¿Qué cogí? Ah, claro, pero si me matan no lo consigo. Uf, ¿cómo puedo hacer eso? ¿Cómo lo puedo hacer?
Oh, I think it is. Pleasure doing.
No es sencillo el tema, ¿no? Bueno. Hay dinero. Y poco más que eso, ¿no? Galería. Vale. No tengo mucho dinero. Mediado por aquí.
I hope you're coping. Even if I had seen it, and I'm not saying I have, I couldn't in good conscience. What you're doing is disgusting. Oh, so soon? Lo veo.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die in here?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius and let you out.
Hello. Bye-bye.
Espera.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them? You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus. Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again, for all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Bellides had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
Toda esa gente sí que está aquí.
Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in. Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Espera, Valerio. ¿Por qué no me traducen tus palabras, querido?
I saw you slide down that rope before, and strange, too, since that device you... Oh, of course! Anyway, I'm sorry to ask. Well, I've been trying to get this rare flower from the rock spire. It's too steep to climb, so I hung a rope over the lake and made this pulley device, only do you think you could use the device again? Look, I'll tell... Oh, thank you. I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting duly set for... But from what I hear, Malio... maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so... And how could you... Oh, well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure If you can do that, and Sentius is the... I can't... Even I... Oh... What? Alright. Well, but... Oh...
Espera, no hablamos de conmigo. Julie.
Salve... No. Oh...
Hello? Hello? Bye-bye.
Vale. La flor, vale. La flor me tengo que tirar, ¿no? Pero ¿cómo me tiro? ¡Hostia! Dios, pensaba que me mataba. Vaya coñazo, ¿no? Coger esa puta flor. Ok. No sé cuál es la manera más rápida, la verdad. Vale, me tengo que tirar, yo creo que inmediatamente, ¿no? Uy. ¡No! Casi. Es más rápido quizás... ¿Por aquí? No, da igual. Vale, me tiro nada más empezar a... Ay, no, mierda, me estoy yendo. No. Da igual. ¿Y qué hay? Dios. Bueno, vamos a centrarnos. Espérate, aquí había venido, ¿no? Vale, tampoco tiene que ser tan inmediato. Qué rollo, me va a costar hacer esta mierda, en serio. Venga. Cuento 1 y me tiro. 1, me tiro. 1, seco. 1, seco. Qué bien que el personaje no se canse, ¿eh? Porque si no sería bastante coñazo. Que ya lo está haciendo. 1, seco. Me cago en... Vale. Un seco. Es que yo creo que me lo pienso mucho, no sé. Qué rollo. Y además allá abajo hay un cofre que yo quiero conseguirlo, pero no sé cómo hacerlo. Puño de la flor. Ahora en serio, ¿podré conseguir esa puta flor? ¿La ley no puedes hacerlo tú? ¿Cerdo? Me estás vacilando, ¿no? Qué coñazo, tío. ¿Cómo lo puedo hacer? No sé. No sé, es que me voy a estrellar contra la roca. ¡Venga! ¡Oh! Me cago en el juego. Me cago en el puto juego. ¿No lo pueden haber puesto un poco más fácil esto? No sé. Por favor, cógela. ¡Oh! ¡Qué rollo! 10 veces salté. Valerio, look what I found. Where are you? Mira, ¿qué pasó? ¿Dónde está? Espera.
Salve again, my sister. No. Brilliant! You did it! Well done! This is going to make her so happy. Equitia, and what I really want to do is walk up to her, give her the flower, and But on the other hand, I can't shake the feeling that the You mean, aside from... You see, Equitia is a Vestal priestess, meaning she's taken a vow of chastity, the breaking of which would be an extreme... Even if she was just suspected of being unchaste, it could lead to her execution. Unchaste Vestal, but at the same time, she's just so kind and graceful, and I feel... I don't know what... Oh, I'm sorry to bore you. All right, friend.
Mierda. He desaprovechado esa oportunidad, ¿no? No quiero volver a coger la puta.
No. Well, but...
Me tienes que volver a coger la flor, ¿verdad? Ay, Dios mío.
You there? No idea. And before you ask, no, I wouldn't dream of... But I would like to... Tell me, do you have any idea how... And here I was thinking I was... Supposedly, 1 or 2 of those arrows is enough to turn... Now, of course, that is a travesty. A terrible... I can't help but think of a tale told by that Greek folk with the bit... Use your imagination. And even if we... Oh, I'm not suggesting we use such a bow on people. Excellent. So the first question is, how do we get our head... Now, I have a plan. But first... No problem. Diana is our goddess of the hunt, the moon. The one thing priests and poets agree on is that she carried... And it just so happens that there is a shrine of Diana in this very forum, with a prominent statue. And would you like to... Precisely. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in that temple staring at it, trying to figure out how to... Oh, gods, no. If you tried that, we'd all be... No. Here's what I propose. You give your bow to me. I cover it in a thin... Then you enter the shrine, extinguish the braziers, and under cover of darkness, swap out the fake for the original. But make no mistake, this is a dangerous part. But in my experience, all the best adventures begin with a risky... Now, you must... Because the gods would see you. I'm more of an ideas man, whereas you're obviously the more... When Prometheus stole fire from the gods and became a hero to all... Only because he was silly enough to get... So... Wonderful. Now, this is a... And here we are. Now, I've gone and unlocked the Shrine of Diana for you, so as quick as you can. It's just at the end of the street on the left.
¿Por dónde?
What are they?
Ah. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué hay? Oh, Olivia. Oh.
Is that you, partner? Do you have the bow? Wonderful. Just go ahead and slide it under the door for me and I'll unlock it for you. And yet you did. And now, here we are. With me out here, and you in... No, technically, I never said that. It's hardly my fault if you can't tell the difference between... Oh, I do... Not a very effective threat, is it? Your second problem is the golden rule. The bow, now. I would reconsider my position, but you're stuck in there with a hornet's nest. You know, some say it takes 27 hornet stings to... Let's find out how many...
Tiene que haber esta forma. Ya. Claro. Qué guay, ahora tengo el poder de convertir en oro las cosas. Qué chulo. Me ha gustado este cambio de... Oh. Me está molando mucho el juego, ¿eh? Muchísimo. La banda sonora es increíble. ¿Qué pasa con las alas? Ah, las puedo hacer. Ah, vale. O sea, ahora puedo hacer las enredaderas de oro, hacer las alas de oro, ¿no? Vale, me he liado. Qué guay. Vale, qué fuerte. Ahora sí. Now we are talking. Such a great power comes a great
My
responsibility.
beloved Galatea, I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad or a monster, but I don't care what they think. Everything I'm doing here, I'm doing for you. I'll start at the beginning. Soon after my arrival here, as I walked down a corridor lined with golden statues, I thought I heard a whisper behind me. A rasp of air, as if vocal cords of metal strained to say a word or two. I tried to dismiss the idea, tried to concentrate on my work as the city's medic, but that tortured whisper haunted me. Weeks later, in the hallway to the bathhouse, I heard it again and found myself drawn to the statue of a Roman woman wearing a stola. Her face was contorted with anguish and fear, and, disturbingly, it was as if she was looking right at me. As I walked past her, I heard that strained whisper again, and turning back, I discovered that even though I had moved, she was still looking right into my soul. That was when it dawned on me. This was no statue. This was a woman trapped within that golden prison. Naturally, I told the others, but when I could not reproduce the results of my experiment, they would not believe me. From that moment on, I knew the full horror of this place. Immobilized within these statues are living human beings. It was that day, my love, that my heart broke.
Yeah. ¿Dónde estoy? Ah, I'm in the palace, right? Vale, va a haber enemigos aquí, ¿no? Me da un poco de penita, yo creo que serán irnias, puede ser. Pero ¿por qué se convierten en monstruos? No entiendo eso. Me encanta lo del arco, ¿eh? Me parece una pasada.
You're not supposed to be here.
Well, I am here. Vale, déjame primero... No puedo entrar. Joder. Ah. ¿Me coge? Sí. Joder, qué mal. ¡Oh, qué mal hecho! Voy a dar a la cascada, seguro. ¿No? Joder, pesados. Está muy guay el juego. Vaya cagada.
Kill me.
Vale, hay otro ahí. No lo he hecho muy bien, ¿no?
My beloved Galatea, after I learned the terrible truth about the golden statues, I wandered the city as if in a nightmare. What must life be like for these poor souls, entombed in gold, but kept alive somehow? Trapped in their own personal Tartarus, consigned to eternal torment, too horrific for any sane mind to comprehend. I tried to offer them what small mercies I could. I began to talk to them, to keep them company. I'd imagine backstories for them, give them names, and tell them of the world, of the histories and stories I'd learned as a child. As the others became more concerned by my charity, I sought solitude from them, preferring the company of my tormented charges. Discovering a way into the abandoned palace, I began to spend my days walking its halls and sharing with its occupants ancient tales, my mind turning to those of Apollo and Daphne, Perseus and Medusa, and Pygmalion and Galatea. Pygmalion, the sculptor who fell in love with a beautiful statue, and who, praying to Aphrodite for aid, discovered that his beloved Galatea had come to life. It was then that I heard you whisper to me, Galatea. Forgive me. I know that is not your real name, just one I have borrowed from a story. But when I turned to look at you, I saw the most exquisitely beautiful woman I have ever known. Your face, forever frozen in a myth of haunting serpents. Our meeting gave me new purpose, to free you from your golden prison, so that I might one day hear you speak, not just whisper your true name to me. So I gathered tools for the long and difficult task ahead, barred the doors to this place, and set to work.
Make it stop. Please.
Kill me.
Se pueden matar, ¿eh? Pero si bajo ahí, ¿qué consigo? Oro. Joder, ya está bien, ¿no? Me van a a matar. Como me maten, bueno, pues voy a hacerlo, no pasa nada, pero... ¿Hola? ¿Qué pergamino cercano? No.
My beloved Galatea, my attempts of my beloved Galatea, my attempts at freeing these souls, my beloved
Ay, mierda.
my attempts at freeing these souls from their golden prisons have not been going to plan. My first charge was a Greek woman who I called Iodame after the Athenian turned to stone by Medusa. Drilling through the gold that encased her, I was vindicated by the discovery that beneath half an inch of gold, which is so rigid it must be some kind of alloy, was living flesh. Unfortunately, this golden alloy seems to have fused with her skin, so removing it exposed the sinew and muscle beneath, and appeared to cause her great pain. At first, I braced myself, expecting that inflicting such pain would break the golden rule, and yet, somehow, it did not. It seems whichever god is responsible for imprisoning these poor souls does not care about their suffering at all. They are forsaken. Undeterred, I pressed on, working late into the night, attempting to remove the golden layer that encased her as delicately as I could. Eventually, I was able to free most of her body, but when I released her from her restraints, her first act was to lunge for my throat, clawing me with all her strength and those sharp metal talons. This was my chance to try and save her. Whatever possessed her ability to attack, she was clearly not a suitable subject for my experiment, and I was forced to lock her inside an isolated wing of the palace and bar the door. As I continued working on others, I could hear her flailing and launching herself at the other side endlessly. Regrettably, my others failed similar results, and after relocating a few times, most of the palace is now too dangerous to work in. Still, as much as my heart aches to know that you're suffering, I cannot risk attempting to ungild you yet. Not until I have perfected a method that will bring you back to me, whole in both mind and body, and ensuring your humanity is preserved. I promise you this. One day we will be together, even if I have to free every last statue in this god's forsaken place.
Bueno, no me he enterado muy bien. No me he enterado muy bien, la verdad, de lo que dijo. Joder, estoy tan preocupada porque no me maten y porque no se me acabe el tiempo. Pero bueno, me lo puedo volver a ver. Me veo mi partida y me lo leo otra vez. Oh. ¡Ah! Hola.
And you must be the wretched snake who broke into my palace and disturbed my experiments. And, worst of all, look at what you made me do to her. This never would have happened if you just stayed away. You're going to pay for that.
Pero Nivea, no.
And do you think I care about that? I don't care what happened. Liar! I locked and barred the gate. I left a message warning you all to leave me alone. I just wanted to do my experiments in peace. And now look at her. You made me turn the most beautiful woman I've ever seen into this. All I wanted was to spend my last moments with her, to see her beautiful face. But as soon as I began my work, she stopped whispering to me. What's so special about you? What do you mean, the same voice? Yes. I remember when they used to whisper to me. They did sound similar. I just thought, but now that I think about it, they were. But if these bodies are mere conduits for that one voice...
Wait, I see you're trying to steal her away from me.
Were you planning...
Liar!
You give me one... What? Wait.
So I did all this. What have I done? Oh gods, I feel sick. I can't bear the thought of... It's the air coming into... But the only way to fix it would be to break the... At least that way she'd be golden again, and we'd be... It's too late. There's... What? How? Really?
I'm not sure I believe you. But if you can undo this mess, I imagine it would help Lucretia ease... But if you're lying to me, I'll break the...
You did it. You took... I swear I'll stay here to keep her company. But I fear the only one can...
In any case, here's the key I promised you. It opens a chest.
No tenía ya esta llave. Yo ya tengo esta llave.
Now, please leave. The door here Go.
¿Puedo hablar contigo? ¿No? Muy guay todo esto, ¿eh? Survivor. Yoo-hoo! ¿Dónde está este idiota? Ahora me dices que está en el...
Greetings and salutations.
Bueno, voy a la contigo, que estoy aquí.
I'm Georgie. My friend, your words in... I knew this day would... Please, let us leave.
Very well, but for several months now, I have been sneaking out at night. Each day, I leave offerings of food, in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest, and yet the offering... So I ask, who? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed ark. Nothing! Nobody entered. When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered...
It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is...
I do not think you should pursue this, my friend. But you do not strike me as a kind of person... Hey, my friend!
Ah! And in a city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear... They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take... I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the name? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgios the Roman. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, the plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek... he cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him... I hope...
Ave again. Set. May for...
¿Ves? Esto ya lo tenía. ¿Ves esa llave? No entiendo nada. Bueno.
What are you doing in here? She needs... It's too... No. All right.
Salve. Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome. You arrived on a sad day, friend. What with Julia's... Nice to talk.
¿Dónde se metió este canalla? No entiendo nada. Está anocheciendo. ¿Me dará tiempo ir a hablar con este señor?
Ah, a visitor. Welcome. Well, it's a... Tell me. Ah, yeah. I will tell you everything I know. But first, the one thing let us find out with this simple question. Excellent. I see you are indeed. Now, will you join me? Wonderful. Would you say you know the difference between... You are an overthinker too. We're the same then. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then... Well, that's reassuring. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was... So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize. But under the golden rule, morality matters. So to navigate this maze... That is an excellent question. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly... How can that be? Since they all have differences, it follows. If there is a correct moral code, then wouldn't it follow that... Are you sure? Or is it possible that... After hundreds of years, and as many great thinkers dedicating their lives to these questions, what hope do we have if our... My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard... If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them. And so we must accept our limitations. And the sad truth, in mathematics, we would call it an asymptote. Because the only way to create a utopia is with this and no other is the root from which it... And life under tyranny. I'm glad to hear that. You mean, how did I end up... I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring. It became heated. He drew a... I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of coururse, I tried to... I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join. They are one and the same. My generation was wiped out. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that. I fear that if you were to... I'm afraid I am the only one left. Some from malnutrition. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit, living in darkness is not without its challenges. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the greater challenge is the isolation. Like so many... As you would... Ha! Did we not discuss it? You seek the It is a cursed object, and I would be... I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, when the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own. Thus the shrine of Persephone became... And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, and the city's dwindling Greek residents witnessing this compulsive... They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the temple of... I'm getting to that. You see, it was among these old Greek and even older... We had no idea, and as a result of their deaths, we extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egypt. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the road, but it turns out this game has been I think it is best you head through the catacombs. There are certain things. Take this key.
Gracias.
I enjoyed our chat. Good to see you again.
El problema está en que si me meto en un sitio así ahora mismo, que está a puntito de... Un momento. Que está a puntito de acabar el ciclo, la voy a liar, así que me voy a ir fuera. Voy a hacer una cosa más sencilla. Todavía no. ¿A dónde se ha ido el cabrón? Yo no entiendo nada. Hola.
Salve and well. All right.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
No. Ay, no. Don't kill me, please. Don't kill me. Please, oh please. Oh pretty please, don't kill me. Me cago en la pu. Me convertí en ahora, ¿no? Es que claro, a ver, aquí.
Good to see.
Desde aquí, no sé. Bueno.
Salve, friend. Even if I had seen... Even if I... What you're doing... There was a Even if I had seen... There was a Here in this... Are you... If you like. Oh...
El problema es que no puedo salir, ¿no?
I said please leave. You're trespassing.
Vale, pero... I need the key.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
No me lo puedo creer. No me lo puedo creer. ¿No hay ninguna llave? ¿En serio? Ninguna llave. Oh. Ah. Pero no puedo, ¿no? Bueno, ahora ya sé cómo puedo hacerlo. Pero... ya. Me voy a convertir, ¿no? No, voy, no dice. Fuck. No me jodáis. Ah, vale, se me convierte, claro, me convierto en oro. Obviamente si me disparan con las putas flechas. Pensaba que había un tiempo. Ay, Dios mío. Un momentito. Entiendo que si lo paro así no pasa el tiempo, ¿no? Bueno, veremos. Estoy muy enganchada a este juego, ¿eh? No pensé que fuera a ser tan guay. Es muy guay el juego. Pero que hace tantas cosas que es como... Ay, ¿por qué tengo tan poca vida?
Salve, friend. Mind tell... All right then.
No. Espera.
No. All right.
Bueno. Vale. No pasa nada, vamos a ver. Voy a hablar con Nessie.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns.
It's over.
Hello. Do you like it? But, well, like, yeah, Galerius will let me out. Then you can have... Bye-bye.
Vale, Luli, me parece bien. Hombre, cerdo.
Hello there, friend. May I say, that is a... Well, I'll take your word for it. But perhaps you'd be interested in... Oh, well, let me know if you change... Certainly. Oh, you have it. Pleasure doing business. Can I help you? Very well.
What are you doing in here? She needs... What? Yulia? You... Hopefully in a moment. That was extraordinary. Look, if you don't want to tell me, that was like the gods hit. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yours. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she... In the meantime, that's a shame.
Pero...
Feeling all right? Sure. Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her... Glad... That's a... A golden bow, just like Apollo and Diana's.
Pero la flor bonita la tengo entonces. ¿Dónde está el señor?
Ah, no. All right.
Vale, voy a hacer una de las catacumbas y lo dejo. Seguiría, ¿eh? Pero...
May Apollo keep you safe.
Ay, me he recuperado, Julia. Cuéntame, muchacha.
Oh, it's you. Was there something you...
Julia, te puedo preguntar qué te ha
As
pasado,
much as I'm
muchacha.
grateful that you tried to help me. The golden rule. That's the least of my... Please. Persistent as Nemesis. All right. I'd been here about a week. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, she was supposed to be my friend. So she suggested I take... I had to sign an agreement, saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. I paid Aurelia. You figured it out. Drink this, she said. And she pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. In fact, he just thanked her.
Hijos de puta.
That's what I said to the map. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was... I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I'd... He locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as His wife Claudia was just as bad. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor. Those two took everything from me. My hem... I just wanted it to be over. But I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous... When I've recovered, I expect their thug Dimity. Only this time, I won't be able to lol. Honestly, it would have been better. I doubt it. It seems, at least until someone breaks the goal. A lot. He's in exactly the same position as I am. He's probably already thrown him. If so, I'd never... I doubt you could make... I don't know who you are, or... Oh, you mean my life story? Our father found good husbands for my sisters. It was a good life for a while. Until 7 months ago when the fire... We must have had 100 but they fell on deaf ears. My employer told me to grab what valuables I remember diving into the river and then... Thank you. But to be honest, sometimes... If that's your idea of a...
Perdona muchacha.
I know what kind...
Ay, por Dios.
Bueno. A golden bow, just like Apollo and Diana.
Name's Rufius.
Vale, podemos intentar que no se tire.
Salve, welcome. All right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Oh, P.S.
That's the...
What?
Why do you...
I know. Please.
I'm sorry.
Please, help him. Thank you.
You... know? Well, you don't under... It's too... If I backed out... Oh, really? But we're still in debt bondage to that monster.
2000.
Julia and I are in debt bondage to Malleolus. Oh, I am out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love.
2000.
I'm sorry.
Oh, P.S. no!
Vale.
I'll have...
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you? Oh, you're here. And there's a... How... I'll do us all a
Vale. Voy a intentar otra vez eso.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
No, por favor, no, por favor, no me matéis, por favor. ¿Hola? Ah, nunca lo he visto, ¿eh? Bueno, mira, por lo menos hice eso, por fin lo hice. No sé lo que había dentro, no me he dejado, pero... dinero, desde luego, y... qué forrada. Haz todo bien,
Salve, friend. Mind Oh. Yulia. Poor bird. All right, let me... I'll go.
Vale, yo ahora voy a hablar con el gilipollas. Iba a dejarlo, pero es que no puedo parar. No puedo parar. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Me hice daño? No lo puedo creer. No.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Magistrate, yes, yes. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now...
You're not supposed to talk. The dainty little thing from next door. Of course not. As much as I despise her father, I would never lay a finger on that poor, sweet child. Well, Dimitri!
¿Qué?
Do I need to call Dimitri?
Pesada. Vale, tengo que hablar todos con ella.
What is the meaning of this?
Vale, pues voy a dejar mis catacumbas.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Lo voy a dejar aquí para acordarme de que tengo que hacer esto. Y... sí, lo voy a dejar aquí. Vale. Vamos a guardar. Sí. No, te imaginas. Bueno, súper chulo el juego, muy bueno, muy entretenido. Intrigante también.